Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1949 Smith Corona Silent vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top here is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight. I'm going to line that up with the edge of the platen, which is the main roller that feeds the paper. And above that are the margins. You just push them down and move them like this. And I'm going to set this one around 5. There's a scale rate on the back paper rest that shows you exactly what space you're on here with the margins. And I'm going to set this right margin around 75. It's about the length of the page. And this is the paper support arm that flips up from the back. And this is the paper bell that sits on top. It's got 3 adjustable rollers, and that's how you know you have a luxury Smith Corona, when it has the paper bell and the paper fingers to help support the paper down. And I'm just going to make sure the margins are in between those 2 paper fingers so you don't type over them or get stuck on them. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit the slide space, gets you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 2, or 3 spaces. Right now we have it on double, but if you want single, it's just the first option here. On this, it's got 1, 2, and 3 up top so you can see. And you flip it in the middle, it's double. You flip it on the back, it's 3. We're going to keep this on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line. Switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side here. You flip that all the way down, and there's a red dot to tell you on red, which prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. When you have it in the middle, it doesn't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes, and when you have it up top, it prints the top portion of the ribbon. We're going to put that down for red. Very nice typing machine. This is an excellent condition typewriter. Looks really good. It's branded as a silent. It's not really silent, but it's much quieter than the other typewriters like the Sterling and the Clipper. So this would be, I think it goes the Clipper, Sterling, or Sterling Clipper, and then the silent, or then the super, and then the silent, and the silent super. So this is the second to best of the upgrades of this model. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side here. You flip it forward and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easy or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. I'm going to go ahead and put the paper support arm down. Shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the top left works good. Tab on the top right. This has a manual tab set. To set them, you just flip this panel back here and you take the inserts, these little inserts, and you put them anywhere on this rack. And there's a scale on the rack to tell you exactly what space you're on. So we'll go ahead and set that. I don't know if it'll let me. Oh, there we go. So that's how that works. Got 3 tabs sets back there. Below that is the MR, stands for margin release. You get to the end of the margin. There's a mechanism that won't let you type past that block unless you hit the MR, and it will allow you to go all the way to the end or until you get stuck on that paper finger, which I did. I'm going to flip up the color selector back up to blue so it prints the top portion of the ribbon. Open the hood, all the brand new ribbons loaded on the left, so it's pulling to the right. If you want to switch that direction, there's a switch on the left above the backspace. You flip that up and it'll pull to the left. Counterclockwise, you flip it down, it'll pull to the right clockwise. That works good. And right above that little switch is the touch control. The farther left you go, the more tension there is when you hit the keys. Do have to hit them a bit harder for them to print, but for faster typers, maybe they prefer that. A lot smoother when it's on low and you don't have to hit the keys as hard. On the right side of the carriage is the carriage release behind the knob. It's got the nice metal carriage releases, unlike the later models that have the plastic ones that break all the time. And it has the carriage lock on the front. If you hold that up, it'll lock the carriage in the middle. To unlock it, you just pull it to the right. And the carriage release on the left side here works great. And this little lever on the end of the knob, you pull it out, it'll disable the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You push it in and get those clicks. Each one of those clicks is 1 space. Same concept with this little lever on the inside here. You flip that down, it'll disable the spacing. You flip it up and you get those clicks. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.